Good evening, Chair. Good evening, all members. My name is Yotam Nyuenda, Senior Procurement and Supplier Officer, KALOMO Town Council.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, honorable members of the committee. My name is Mubanga Jimmy, Director of Finance for KALOMO Town Council.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, honorable members. My name is Miranda Talitha Mlea, former Director Planning for KALOMO.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, honorable members of the committee. My name is Bridget Mwitwa, Internal Auditor.
Thank you. You can switch off your mic. Okay, AG's office.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of the committee, and good afternoon, KALOMO Town Council. My name is Martin Wuni, Office of the Auditor General, Southern Province. I'm accompanied by a colleague who will introduce himself.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Good evening to you and the Honorable Committee, CS and your team. Good evening. My name is Luvinda Sinyani from the Planning and Research Department in the Office of the Auditor General. Thank you.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, members of the committee. Good evening, KALOMO. My name is Ashwia Davis, Assistant Director, Local Authorities Department, Ministry of Finance and National Planning, Audit Division. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon, honorable members of the committee. KALOMO Town Council, good afternoon and you're welcome. My name is Joyce Kubansa from Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson, and good afternoon, honorable members of the committee. KALOMO, good afternoon and you're welcome. My name is Mutali Mishek from the Local Government Service Commission. Thank you so much.
Thank you. For the sake of viewers and listeners.
Chair, for the sake of Mr. Ruvinda Sinyane, I can introduce myself.
Please go ahead.
Chair, thank you very much and good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, permanent witnesses. We're just meeting this afternoon. And good afternoon, KALOMO, Chikankata, and any other. Honorable Dr. Singombe, representing the wonderful people of Dundu, Mwezi, in KALOMO. Chair, a colleague to the local authority that is before us, or before you this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair KALOMO. Good evening and welcome once again to your Committee on Local Government Accounts. I'm Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe constituency in Petaukye District of the Eastern Province. Thank you.
Mitete.
Chair, this is the voice of Mitete to Western Province. Mutela Mishek is my name. KALOMO, you are welcome. Be calm.
Thank you. Honorable Member for Kalurushi. Honorable Kampamba, are you there? Okay. We have Honorable Kampamba. She's with us virtually, so she'll be following us. My name, CS, is Mishek Mtetwa Nyambose. I represent the wonderful people of Chasefu constituency in the Eastern Province of Zambia, and I privilege to chair your committee. Once again, you're welcome to your committee on local government accounts. We have been guided that this is a reappearance, so we shall not waste much time. First, I want to thank you on behalf of the committee that you have made a report to respond to the two queries which were outstanding. One is on page 18. Page 18, we are looking at starting from, it's 18, unspent funds, 42,258,881 for both KALOMO Central and the Dundumwezi constituencies. That is one of the queries. Then the other one is on page 23. This page 23 is pertaining to the secondary school boardings. secondary boarding and skills development bursaries. I'm very positive that this is for the two constituencies. So you can speak to the two queries.
Thank you, Chair. As guided, the first query is unspent funds, the total of 42,258,851. Chair, the details are that under Kalomo Central, we had the community project standing at 16,4605. Empowerment grants 1,815,049. Skills secondary bursary 1,420,687. And administrative costs 924,726, giving us a total of 20,201,077. And for Dundumai's community projects, we are standing at 16,134,688. Empowerment grants 1,725,639. Skills secondary bursary 2,980,302. And administrative costs 1,217,175. Total 22,057,804 kwacha. Chair, additionally, management wishes to submit that these projects, the projects that have been completed and those that are ongoing have been submitted under Appendix 11. Remedial measures, management will endeavor to utilize funds within the financial year. And then, Chair, we skip to go to page 23. Yes. That is 2.4 secondary boarding and skills development bursaries. Cause of query, management wishes to acknowledge the observations raised by the auditors and would like to submit that the unspent funds in relation to secondary boarding school and skills development bursaries were attributed to the low uptake rate of the component by beneficiaries. Action taken, management wishes to report that the unspent funds amounting to 4,597,537 have since been fully utilized. Of this amount, 2.5 million was reallocated to community projects under Dundumaizi constituency, while 530,779.83 was applied to projects that required variations. Additionally, 936,747.64 was reallocated from both constituencies for the procurement of a generator for Request Muntanga Level 1 Hospital in line with a presidential directive. The remaining 629,991.53 was retained under the original component and disbursed accordingly, and project status are as tabulated below, Chair. See Appendix 13. Then remedial measures, management will continue to ensure that the public are sensitized on the availability of the secondary boarding school and skills development CDF component. Chair, I submit.
Thank you very much, CS, for that short and wonderful submission. Points of clarifications. Dundumaizi Member of Parliament.
Well, Chair, thank you very much, and I want to thank the CS for this brief. On page 20, CS, on Dundumaizi and number 4. Chair, on number 4, there's an issue of 204,665. Project completed, the balance are savings. I want to know whether this saving was brought before the CDF committee for reallocation. Thank you, Chair.
Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to bring in, I'll start with the former DP. before I go to the former Director Engineering.
Yes. These savings, were they brought to the CDF committee?
Thank you, Chair. I'm guided that the savings were supposed to have been deliberated on this year, so I ask Director Finance currently to speak to it.
The savings for 2023. This is 2025. Yes, Director.
Thank you, thank you, Chair. For sure, the project was supposed to have been implemented in 2023, but the project is actually a contribution towards the KFW, which is the rehabilitation of the township roads. Then the project couldn't be implemented during the period under review because the project implementers had not shared the revised implementation plan. So the implementation plan was shared, I think that was let me just refer to the documents here. It was actually approved on the 10th of May 2024 by the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. So after that was done, the contribution was done this year, which was quoted in dollars. So the amount that CDFC had allocated at that time and the amount that was paid, there was a difference. So the difference that is there is a saving which is still sitting in our accounts. I should mention, Chair, that it wasn't tabled in the last CDFC, which I think was 2 weeks ago. It wasn't tabled for it to be allocated to other projects. I submit, Chair.
Honorable Member for Dundubwezi.
Chair, like I've indicated, we stay together with these colleagues. So certain things, I think we know what is going on. Chair, here it's indicating project completed. If you check there, it said project completed. As I sit here, the CS agrees with me that there is not even an inch of the road has been done. So is this the correct scenario? Because why I'm asking about that saving, Chair, I'm wondering, how do you save before the project is implemented? Are you saying you have already allocated that amount of money and this is the balance that you wish to save when the project resumes?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Chair. The amount was a contribution towards the bigger chunk which the donors are contributing. So when we say project completed, in the sense that the contribution has been done fully to the satisfactory. So what remains is available for other projects when it's tabled. I submit, Chair.
Honorable Member for Mitete.
I wanted to be quiet. Is what you have said the correct narration for project completed this year? Hold your peace. Is that the right narration? Project completed means the project is complete. If it is a building ready for usage, if it's a road, people are passing through the road. That is what is known as project completed. What you have explained, it would have also been written in that manner. The fund completed, not project. Chair, money is money. Money cannot be project completed. Not even in KALOMO. Even if you think in Tonga and explain, in English, it's not like that. Just come out clean. Where things have not been done, indicate things are not yet done.
You know this audit, these reports. Okay, let's have a comment from the Commission. Is it Commission or local government? Commission.
No, Chair, I was just signaling the clerk for something.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The issue is, you see, like Honorable Mutero has said, when you say project completed, it's quite misleading. If the honorable member was not there, we believe that this road was done. So what you are trying to, what you report here is not what is obtaining on the ground. And there is always that temptation. There is one MP in Eastern Province who was telling me that my council, when they came, they lied to you. What they were telling you is not what is obtaining, and he called them. Why are you telling that committee things which are not obtaining? And for you, you go even and celebrate that you have come from this committee session and you have answered. You don't care the people of KALOMO, the people of Dundumwezi, whether what you are telling us here is what is obtaining there. The beauty about it is, even if you do that, you get promoted, sometimes transferred. It's business as usual. You go and do the same in another council. So, CS, what is it when you say the project completed in this particular case?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, if you look at the table in question, number 4 says Township Roads contributions to KFW. So that contribution is what was constituting this, which we are calling a project. So the contribution was done, even though the fund has not yet come on the ground.
So if you are telling someone, my child, that road project is completed, because the money is towards the road. So when you say road completed, can that person understand? My child, can he understand that? So can you withdraw that statement and make correct position for the purpose of our report? It should be recasted, or recast or properly put.
Thank you, Chair. The contribution was made.
Better that way.
Chair, closer to 100% that way.
Honorable member, on the same?
Chair, it's a different one.
Okay, let me ask Dr. Manza first, then you come in. Doc?
Okay. On the actual description, so page number 9, page 19, the unspent funds, I'm looking at the unspent funds. So if we go to page 20, 2023 CDF projects, there is a water bowser, supply of a water bowser to Dundumwezi, and is it on page? No, it's on page 21. So, Chair, here, Council is trying to explain how they spent the monies that were queried. So for Dundumwezi, they've spent 12,349,353 from the balance, from the unspent balance of 100%, and item number 2, supply and deliver of 20,000 liters water bowser. Here, the comment is that the project is at procurement and it needs extra funding.
This one, which one?
Page 21. Page 21. Do I have an audit document or what?
Page 21.
It's page 21 now. Okay, here is page 20. You gave me an old document. All right, so page 20 here on the new version. So project is at the water bowser is at procurement stage, and you are saying you need extra funding. So when you look in the appendices, it shows that you already engaged a supplier of a water bowser. So how do you reconcile the comment here that it is at a procurement stage and you are looking for extra funding? But yet I can see communication of a supplier communicating as early as February 2024. The audit, the balances were made, were found in December 2023, ending December 2023. So how come the comment here you are still procuring?
Let's ask them to respond. CS, how do you reconcile? You are procuring, the other side you are saying that you need extra funding. You have already engaged the supplier. What is the story around this water bowser?
Thank you very much, Chair. As rightfully observed by Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, the procurement started, the supplier was identified, funds were in the process of being transferred, but time lapsed. And with time lapsed, eventually when the supplier was ready to supply the machine, it was discovered that the funds that were allocated at the time had become less. So the procurement committee referred back to the CDF committee so that they could apportion more funds so that the water bowser is procured. That's the story, Chair.
We were procuring a tipper truck. I don't know what happened. There is a clause that you put in the procurement process where you say if the procurement process takes time and there's change, you procure as at, I don't know what you call it, the price that you agree at first is the price that you consider regardless of the time. What do you call that language? Is it what? Yeah, there is a validity period of the procurement, the quotation. Is it what happened, or it was to change every day if there is right now? What happens when the dollar is struggling to our kwacha? What happens?
Thank you, Chair. Let me allow my senior procurement and supplies officer to just give a comment on this.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. So what transpired is that at the time they were budgeting for this bowser, they did not consider the VAT and duty. And when we gave out the order, the contract to this supplier.
So you say they?
At the DFC level.
They're the ones who are supposed to tell you about VAT.
We don't know it.
Continue.
Okay, so that was not considered. And at the time, as the CS area indicated, when the bowser was now about to enter the country, that's when they discovered that a bowser is not one of the aero machines that qualify for VAT exemption. And at that time now, that's when we discovered that they needed extra funding for that part for it to be finally procured.
So we can blame the CDF committee for not knowing all those details. Yes. those villagers with their MP. They're the ones who are supposed to know VAT, which machine is VAT exempted. Before you ask Dr. Mwanza, I want to find out, because the procurement officers just said they. Who are they? See, procurement.
Sorry, Chair, for the right way to use, I think it could be say, we did not consider the VAT and duty at the time of planning for the Bowser.
So the failure was on your part.
Indeed.
You should take responsibility. You failed the CDF committee. If you had given them that information, they were going to consider VAT inclusive. You were going to add VAT to it. So the failure was on your part. Dr. Mwanza, or maybe we'll take the first.
Before Dr. Mwanza, of course, even you did not know. You were not aware. All you knew was everything is VAT what? Yes. Till when your machine was now entering, and now you were told. That's how they came to know. And there is no harm to just explain like that. They did not know as well, because they would have advised
at that point,
that well in advance before. So even you, sir, and your team, you equally did not know. You were just now told this can pass, this pay, and through you, the rest now have known that as long as it's not the yellow machines, VAT. That's so the beautiful with this committee.
Right. Now the question is, this was 2023. It is under procurement, and it seems that it's on stalemate now. Nothing is moving. Have you allocated the money for VAT? And if not, why?
Thank you, Chair. I'll ask my Assistant Director to speak to that. I think it was in the last meeting for CDF.
Assistant Director.
Through the Chair, additional funds for the VAT were allocated. However, the supplier had indicated to say the price was no longer the same. So we had requested for additional funding from the CDFC to cater for the price difference. Then, considering the project was supposed to be implemented in 2023, and there is now the fluctuation of time, the price of the machine had gone up. The issue was tabled in the CDFC, and I think a resolution is yet to be made.
I want to ask you, sir, when did you allocate the VAT payment? First allocation, how much was it?
And where was the database?
Sir, when did you allocate? When you say the VAT was allocated, when and how much was it?
The VAT amount was allocated in January of this year, and the amount was 260,000.
So they told you that because of fluctuation, or because the dollar, the exchange rate, now the money for the Bowser is less. You have to top up again. How much was the top up requested by the supplier? And what is the, how do you reconcile with the now that our kwacha is doing very well? You are in contact with the supplier. He has been basing his requests or maybe changes of prices due to exchange rate fluctuations. So now that the kwacha is performing better, what is the position? Yes, sir. The procurement.
Let the senior procurement officer answer that one.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. On the part of change in terms of pricing to what was added, the difference that came after was beyond the initial allocation, and so the top up amount for the duty and VAT was beyond what the indicated would be.
We are not understanding. Let's move together. How much was the water bowser?
It was 1,400,000. 1,400,000.
He signed for 1.4.
Yes.
1.4 million.
In 2023.
In 2023. Dr. Mwanza, slowly, let's engage him. Nice. 2023, 1.4 million.
Yes.
2023. Assuming the contract is there. Now, later on this 1.4 million, you didn't pay VAT. VAT was how much?
So
200 and he was claiming for VAT. When this, you paid the 1.4?
No, we didn't pay anything.
Oh, it was in the contract. Yes. Then he said, no, you have to pay VAT for it. 200 and what VAT?
So it came in total.
VAT only. A figure was mentioned.
260,000.
260,000.
Yes.
VAT. Now, this VAT was allocated in January 2025. So now, when you are about to pay VAT and the 1.4, he changed that no, the price of the machinery has gone up because of exchange rate. What was he demanding for on top of 1.4 million?
In that, they did not indicate how much was required.
So they just told you that things have gone up.
Yes, in right.
So how do you ask from CDF committee an amount that you don't know?
Chair, with your permission, you almost said something. What is the total? So you were just saying the total was without knowing what that total is. Yes? Are you in a know of how much the total? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chair. If I draw you to Appendix 7. On the contract. Sorry, on the procurement minutes on page 6. Is talking under introduction, approval of the following. Item 3. If you come to introduction, if you allow me, Chair, could I read it?
No problem. We are listening. We want to take. Yes, we are interested in the figures.
It says KALOMO Town Council has an allocation of funds in the 2023 budget for the Constituency Development Fund for procurement of a water bowser under Dundumwezi constituency. A contract was awarded to Delta Auto and Equipment Limited at a total sum of 1.4 million kwacha, VAT inclusive. VAT exclusive. Later in the execution of the contract in October 2024, there arose a need to include VAT and duty, bring the amount to 1,679,500,000 kwacha. So, Chair, that's the value, that 679,500.
So now where is the challenge?
Where is the problem? Why? Has this money been paid to the supplier?
No, Chair.
What's the problem?
Chair, the last correspondence with the contractor, it is at this amount that they are not agreeable to proceed with us, and they are saying the amount is no longer the same. It's no longer 1,679,500.
What is the amount?
He said is the amount.
Chair, if you could allow me to check the correct correspondence from them, then maybe I can.
You have it?
Yes, I have.
Check. So if we have another question that as we wait for, Honorable Member for Dunumwezi.
Chair, thank you very much. Chair, I want to acknowledge that the projects on page 23.
You have found it? Okay, let's conclude this one.
Okay, fine.
Your mic, Dunumwezi.
If you'd allow me, Chair, to read through the...
Yes.
Okay. So, the reference is revision of contract sum for supply and delivery status of water bowser.
We are interested in the figure.
Okay, so thank you for your communication regarding the amended contract price. That amount indicated in the report, 1,679,500 for the supply and delivery of the water bowser. We appreciate your time and effort reviewing and adjusting the pricing. We note that there has been a delay on your end in accepting the amended price since our last confirmation. During this period, economic conditions have continued to change, and after a thorough reassessment, we regret to inform you that we are unable to proceed with the amended price due to the following factors. So this is, so down the correspondence are just factors that they are aligning with.
We haven't put the figure.
No.
You are lucky. You are very lucky that this has, you never paid an amount. My conclusion that this supplier may not have the machine. You are lucky. There is a council. Oh, it's Lundazi council. They bought a tipper truck that was never delivered. This time, this tipper truck, instead of they paid, I'm sure they paid. That's a story. But we hear that even the same supplier has sued again, even when he has not delivered.
Chair.
So there are these issues that
Chair,
are
the Dr. Singombe and many others before this parliament has a very you see, sir. I did not want to use that.
No, we are lucky.
I do not want to use
so KALOMO is not the first time Dr.
this would have been the second embezzlement of monies from KALOMO, Dundumwezi in particular. Having lived for a little while in Parliament, monies were gone. The way you were trending, no, do this. No, the machine entered so that the VAT is done what? Included. So where is the machine now that your supplier is now saying no? No wonder we wanted to know, because now dollar to kwacha is now how much?
Something 24,000.
Yes. It is of course 23 point. So those factors would have now been favorable to the council. You also must be now in the know. You follow the happenings, the economic what? Happenings, so that you also arm yourselves with proper argument. Let them go and rethink if they need
they need a water bowser. But the suppliers are there. There are so many.
Yes.
Legitimate suppliers. There are companies
So
here.
maybe even Dr. Mother could be of, he's a consultant. Yeah.
So on this one, before Dr. Mans.
Say something on the bowser so that you have a clear understanding. I think I had a problem with my local authority. Me, I like being honest. So that where you are wrong, you just go back and amend. Chair, what happened was our local authority was looking for a 20,000 liters, and they could not find the 20,000 liters locally, and they opted to go out instead of just reducing, because we had the 18,000 liters. And this is what has dragged this issue to date.
And money sitting in the account.
And the money sitting in the account.
1 point something million.
We should have just reduced. And they are aware. Me, I don't like hiding. They are aware. I've been pushing. Can we reduce to 18,000? But they insisted for 20,000 liters, which was not available locally.
They were promised something.
So I thought I should bring this so that even when we go back, there will be another scenario of a similar nature. Then they should not say we were not aware. Why not get this SLDG? They had Bowsers.
They are here.
A lot of people bought from there, but us wanted to buy from China, and we were trapped by this issue of now VAT. And see where we are now. We are in a different scenario because we have said no more machinery this year, because there are other projects that we need to urgently attend to. And I hope my local authority will see the need to quickly attend to these projects that we chose as a constituency. So I thought, Chair, I brought in this issue.
Well, thank you so
There's
much.
no more Bowser in this situation now.
Because the 2,000 liters, what's the difference? The end user himself is saying, can you have 18,000 liters? Who is going to see how much water, 2,000 liters, what is the difference? So it is something that some people's connections. We are not just being unfair to you. See, yes, these are realities. We are here. We know what happens. But I'm very happy that we are very happy as a committee that money was never transferred. Is the money still there? Maybe we confirm. Maybe we.
Can we show the contract that was signed between the supplier and the Dundumwezi?
Do you have a contract?
Because to supply a machinery, you cannot ship it from China to the port here to demand VAT without the supplier getting a single coin. So let us check the payment terms in your supply contract.
Procurement.
For that project.
Chair, apologies that contract was not attached as an appendices.
Was it paid? Dr. Manza, did the council management release any money to this contract?
No, not at all. It was actually payment after delivery.
That was a term?
Yes.
Now, okay, if that was a thing, we are lucky. These things have happened. You see, this is the money given for the people of Dundumwezi and other constituencies.
It's lost. DF, do we have this money?
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I can confirm that the monies are still with us.
Much?
The money that was allocated was there was a 1.4 at first in the top up. So the money available for the Bowser is 1.675.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
We thank God. And what I wanted to say, CS, please take interest. And what is disappointing is there is a Bowser within local supplier, legitimate local supplier, 18,000 liters. You insist to have 20,000 liters coming from a supplier who is even that supplier, for that supplier to say no, I think the conditions have changed. He knew that that Bowser was not there. History is there in the midst of local government. There was which council? I don't want to mention the former town clerk. So it is again. It was KALOMO. KALOMO Choma Mazabuka. Yes. Who went to UK? They went to UK. And went there to view some machinery, made the payments, they got allowances. Those machinery never arrived up to now. So this should not be the case. That's why the government has put those stringent measures to ensure that if these people are locally here, you go and buy and save the people.
Chair, the Bowsers arrived in the form of allowances because allowances were in the pockets. But the real machines
never came.
Yes.
So we don't want to repeat. And the buck stops at you, the Council Secretary. If this thing went through, you passed it. Please take interest to read the contracts, as Dr. Mwanza has indicated. We are lucky that it was payment after delivery. But sometimes we indicate that make part payment. Once you have such a contract, be careful, know that you have a problem. Never be tempted. If you can get locally, get it. And at 1.2 million, Chasefu bought a tipper truck. Or maybe 1.5 million now. You can get a tipper truck. A tipper truck is equivalent to a water bowser. And the MP is confirming. A water bowser is here, 18,000 liters. Not 18 liters, 18,000. And the difference with the one you wanted from abroad was 20,000. You can, it was just 2,000. And the end users are comfortable with it. The prices will go that way. 18,000, the prices will be something affordable you pay. And VAT, it is working. Now you keep the money in the account. No wonder the Minister of Law Government is saying, the Minister of Finance said, 400 and something million. Even when the councils are coming, no, the ministry is mopping money, we're not getting money. There is 400 million sitting now. Part of it is from the 1 point something million, and I'm sure is sitting there. And yet you are claiming for other projects. What the ministry has said, where I'm seated, I'm privileged, because me, I inquire and push. Before you claim for money for other projects, when you have that 1.6 million, use it. When the ministry is raising money, it's raising money for CDF. It's not raising money for Bowser, for 1/3. No, they're raising CDF money. You use that one, you claim that one. But move fast. Honorable member, I want to encourage you. Move fast on this one. Get a local supplier, utilize this money. Do the procurement.
Sure, we have abandoned.
You have abandoned?
The minutes on page 6.
You have Mike.
The minutes on page 6, so on appendix 7, the meeting held on 14th April 2025. The appendix 7, so the minutes of the procurement committee meeting held on 14th April 2025, and page 6 of the minute, the item number 3, the resolution was re-advertised, the water bowser, under Dundumwezi constituency, under the 2023 CDF funding.
What is the issue there?
So the issue here is you have resolved to advertise. Have you
the MP has said you have abandoned?
Have you closed the contract? You signed the contract with that supplier, and they are engaging. The supplier says we need to adjust the price, which he just read from the evidence from his pocket. Just read that. Yes. So you are now going to re-advertise. Have you closed that contract?
Yes, have you closed that contract?
Because he will sue you.
Thank you, Chair. Of course, the minutes that the Honorable is referring to has a condition that's subject to CDF approving more funds. That's when the advertising would have done. Now, coming to your question, have we closed the contract? I'm meant to be guided by my engineering or my legal team, because I think the supplier kind of like, he surrendered to supply this document, this machine to us. So now you ask a good question, Chair. Have we closed? We need to follow it up and say maybe close it down.
Chair, through you. It's how should it be done? Bringing the legal minds, okay, based on that communication. we hereby. You know what I'm saying? We are no longer. It's not a sign language. I'm talking and emphasizing based on what you have.
Non-verbal?
Yes, download it.
These are simple things.
But then attach a legal note using the legal mind. Based on this, we are no longer having anything in between us. Sealed.
A honorable member of Parliament for Dundumwezi, because you are here, you are part of this committee. If it was another, we are going to inform that MP. Take interest. Get the report, the financial report from the treasurer, detailed, to check whether no money has been paid to the contractor. If you are satisfied that no money left the council accounts, well and good, we are happy. Then further, ensure that you get the legal minds. We now have a legal officer, isn't it? Get the minds of the legal officer and also the senior procurement. Sit down with you as management, analyze the terms of the same contract, if it means to be closed, or if the letter that he wrote is by implication a closure. Please formalize it. Formalize this contract, because it's strange. Unless he was trying just to scam the council. Someone who brings the machinery, it enters. What was remaining was just VAT. Then he says, no, it changes. That means that machine could have, probably was not even there. So just formalize the closure of the same contract. As a committee, we are happy that it never took off. You never released the monies. But be careful. Not only you, all the council should be careful, especially when these companies which have machinery that is not, they are not here, or they don't have agents here. It's quite a problem. Unless there is another item. Dr. Mwanza, we're winding up. Yeah, you should be summarizing.
Yes, Appendix 11, I'm summarizing. Project, you have shown some projects that have been completed and others that are ongoing.
Page what?
Appendix 11.
Page?
It's Appendix 11, there's no page. There is
Appendix 11, okay.
Yeah, the second one. Yeah. Project number 34. Completion of a 1x3 classroom block at Munyeke Primary School. The project is ongoing, and what is ongoing is painting, but there is no balance. There is no money left. The same with project number 27, completion of Hapuya Health Post. The project is still ongoing, and there's no money. And project number 19, construction of Simwanda Bridge, is ongoing, and the funds, okay, you have explained that you're looking for more funding. So there are quite a few. Also project number 8, construction of staff house at Chimpelele Community School, is ongoing at 95% complete, but the balance 2,000 is not enough as a retention on this particular contract. So explain on how project number 34, which is ongoing, and you have spent everything on this project, where is the retention and where is the money to pay for that remaining part which is ongoing?
Okay. Direct engineering.
Thank you very much, Chair. In regards to project number 34, I would like to lead the committee to page 23 of the main report. there were some additional funding of about 200,000 that were added to the project, bringing the new contract sum to 550. So we do have a balance of about 88,000, and the project, yes, indeed, is still ongoing as the contractor has not completed the works.
So how do we track these ledgers now? Because we are now bringing evidence from your own, which is not documented here. Because
was on the ledger, just a minute, Doc. On the ledger, you were supposed to have indicated, we are supposed to include a column of additional funds and a proper analysis of what is on 23. Was on 23 is supported by the attachments. On the attachments, you go into the detail by including the additional funds. What we are supposed to have asked you now is that where is the CDF minute that he approved this 200? But here you are supposed to have put all those columns of additional funds. What was remaining is to tell us which CDF committee approved the funds, the additional funds.
Chair, the approval for the additional funding is attached as Appendix 13. This is one of the projects that had additional funding on that variation that we did on bursaries.
So it's a block figure. So we just assume in this one there's money for that. You're supposed to have gone into detail. The variation is going towards this.
You see, you only had two queries to appear here. The unspent on page 18, unspent funds on page 18, and the something like on 23. So to answer this query comprehensively, on page 19, there's a table that shows that there was a balance as at 31st December 2023 of 14,563,038 for under Dundumwezi, under community projects, which represented 100% unspent. And under Kalomo, 12,908,270, which represented 88% unspent. As at 31st December 2023. And you have explained to say management has since then spent a total of 12 million for Kalomo and 12,166,853 under Dundumwezi, under the projects below. So the ledger should add to what you have promised that you have spent. So now, for example, just project number 34, you are saying, no, there was a 500,000 kwacha, which means that is the total allocated amount now. So it means the figures would not reconcile with what has been put on under page 19. And
do you understand what we are talking about? Director of Finance, do you understand?
Yes, Chair, I do.
Yes.
So,
let us allow them to respond. Yes.
Chair, the council is very much understood, though our thinking was the ledger that the Honourable is referring to was just speaking to the balance brought forward as at 1st of January 2023. But I think, like you have explained, it could have made more sense to actually include the monies that have been added to the projects. But what we are speaking to, if you look at the ledger, is the 14 million that was queried as opening balance as at 1st January 2023.
As we wind up, Dr. Singombe.
Chair, thank you very much. I'm on page 23, and the other part I think Dr. Mwanza has asked on Munyeke. Munyeke is my former school, so I know every detail of that particular school. And For me, Chair, I'm asking on construction of girls' dormitory at Habulile and construction of an abortion block at Habulile. Chair, these projects were completed almost 5 months ago. And I don't know why the local authority is dilly-dallying in commissioning them. Are they not happy that their own contractors have done very good job? Chair, from where I sit, these are wonderful projects, but they've not been commissioned.
Why?
So I want to find out, when are we going to commission these particular projects in Dundumwe's constituency that have been lying for months?
Council Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. Of course, Chair, it's our desire that these projects are commissioned, the beneficiaries utilize them as soon as they are completed. But maybe just for the details, let me ask my Assistant Director to just shed more light on that.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to note to say it's true those projects have been completed and they are ready for commissioning. We've got a number of projects that have been completed, and we are coming up with a schedule to ensure that all of them are commissioned.
Because on page 19, what was in the balance was 14,563 and 38 kwacha. But following your explanation to say you are just responding to 2023 only, page 21, the amount is not equal to what was in your balance. On page 19, the query is, the balance as at 31st December 2023 for the two constituencies. KALOMO was 12,908,370, whereas Dundumwezi it was 14,563 and 38 kwacha. Out of these monies that was balanced by 31st December, the action taken is that on Dundumwezi you have spent 12,166,853. So we expect this 12,166,853,000 kwacha to be the amount spent under page 20. But it is not the same.
Director of Finance.
Thank you, Chair. I think there is a balance brought forward, which is from 2022 to 2023. But the projects I think that the Honorable is looking at are 2023 projects, because there was the opening balance from 1st January 2023. Then there is the closing balance at 1st December 2023. So the ledger that we were referring to was the balance brought forward from 2022. And the projects that is referring to are projects that are under 2023. I submit, Chair.
Doc, let's have, Doc, we started, yeah.
But they're not giving satisfactory answers.
Yeah.
Can you explain yourself on page 19? The amount received, which CDF are we talking about receiving this money? It is not talking about the brought forward from 2022. It is basically the amount that you received in under 2023 under community component. And this was the statistics at the time of closing the financial year. So you have gone further to explain, to say the 14 million that was as a balance as at 31st December 2023, you have spent so far 12,166,000, and you've gone further to say the projects are tabulated below. So you are explaining how the 12,166,853 was spent. But when you look at the tables here, for KALOMO it is close to the amount that was that you spent.
Talk about Dundumwezi.
But Dundumwezi it is 12,000,000 349,353. And yet, what you have spent here on page 19 is 12,166,853. Why the difference?
Thank you, Chair. As at 1st January 2023, there was balance brought forward from the 2022.
You have explained
projects.
that. What
Yes.
the doc is saying that when you say amounts received, it's the year under review. What you received, it doesn't include the balance brought forward. Now, because the arithmetic has failed, you want to bring the balance to say this was part of the money brought forward. That's what we are trying to say. The reconciliation there is about the monies for 2023 without monies from 2022. That's the point. And you should concede that this is the omission that we made. Now, let's talk about the projects that are completed 5 months ago. And even some of them are still pending to be commissioned. Why are you denying the people of Dundumwezi that opportunity to use these facilities? 5 months ago, some of them are getting vandalized. Half a year, almost. Why? Council Secretary.
Or to augment it, when is that rescheduling ending? Just to say we are commissioning on this, in this month, on this day. You are done. Are you waiting for another to be called to say failed to do what?
Commission.
To commission.
Sir, go there. Go and check those that have not. It's a query, yes. There is a council I don't want to mention. 18 months, a project done, 18 months not commissioned. Immediately they appeared before this committee. The following week there was a schedule of project to be commissioned. But 18 months, a project is done, but not commissioned. So, sir, please, on my behalf, go and check and bring those queries. Failure to commission projects which were completed 5 months after completion period. Go back, I know you are auditing KALOMO, so that we expose these officers. So, Doc, good evening. Oh, thank you very much. CS, it has been a long day for this committee and I want to thank you. What appeared to be 2 simple queries, but what came out is something else. And I'm sure all of you have picked lessons and the points. The weaknesses in financial accounting, maybe in the way you are doing things, I think you have picked something. The weaknesses in procurement, my prayer is that that money is in the accounts. Me, what I do, honorable member, I demand the Director of Finance to be present during CDF meeting, and he brings financial reports from the bank statements. What is sitting there, I see. And
that is what the chair does.
So that's what I do. You can't miss CDF meeting as Director of Finance. You come with the bank statement, not your report. Your report should be there and the bank statement. We see together the money is coming in or not, so that when we are talking as MP, the government is doing its part. The failure is on our part ourselves. So CS, I want to thank you and your team. Go and put your house in order. Go and commission those projects. The minister, when he says 60 days, you is 5 months. Which government are you following? That will not be accepted. The idea of CDF is that people should see the benefit immediately. So that people say, yes, this is the enhanced CDF. So if you're not doing that, you're doing wrong things. I would like to withdraw the immunity that was earlier conferred on you. As you go back, you're on your own. We want to thank you very much for your time coming here. Go and greet the people of Green Acres, Magirimondi, Mawaya, Mukwera, yes, Naruja, yes, and also Namyanga people, greet them. that your son is greeting you.
Thank you, Chair.
You're welcome.
18:15 is the time on Parliament Radio, and this on Parliament TV, yes, and this is where we have to end today's program in the Committee on Local Government Accounts. And if you've just tuned in, well, thank you very much for deciding to tune into the station that is dedicated to bringing Parliament closer to you. So this afternoon, we're airing deliberations that have been taking place in the Committee on Local Government Accounts. Just a reminder that the committee has been considering the report of the Auditor General on the Constituency Development Fund for the financial year ended 31st December 2023. And today we had 3 councils making appearances before the committee. In the morning we had Zambezi Town Council. In the afternoon we had indeed Mwinlunga Town Council, and the last council to make a reappearance before the committee was KALOMO Town Council. We can only say thank you very much to all of you who've been with us from the time we opened the station today. And also just to mention that earlier on also we did air the deliberations that took place in the amphitheater here, and this was a consultative workshop for parliamentarians on the 2025 constitutional reform process. I hope that you enjoyed watching Parliament TV and learned something today. So from me, Mutali Fililis Mate, of course with my sign language interpreters, we had Chola Kauma and Jason Manda was saying thank you very much, not forgetting the entire production crew. So from all of us, we wish you a very lovely evening, of course with the hope that you'll be with us tomorrow for the live deliberations that will take place in the committee and of course in the House in the afternoon. From all of us, have yourself a lovely evening. Thank you very much.